Assalamu alaikum. Don't associate yourself with people who watch porn and masturbate regularly. This is why. You see, one of the ways Shaitan attacks people, one of the ways Shaitan attacks mankind is the channel of the tongue. The chat basically through speaking, through the way communicate. He puts weird thoughts into people's head and then he makes them bring it out. He makes them basically communicate sinning and communicate bad deeds. Basically, when people talk about pornography openly, when they openly talk about their sexual experiences when it comes to watching porn and masturbating, that is how Shaitan attacks you. That is how Shaitan attacks you. When you listen and when you hear people talking about such topics, and then when you engage with such people, this deadens your heart. This deadens your heart. This desensitizes your brain to the concept of watching porn and masturbating, to the point that it actually feels normal and comfortable for you to watch porn and masturbate, even though you're going to feel guilty afterwards. That is one way Shaitan attacks human beings. I'm even gonna give examples. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna go all out. I'm just gonna go through rows and rows and rows of stories of people who fit in this category, of how Shaitan exploits this. There was just one classmate of mine, right? He was narrating a story how when he was home, he goes, I was watching porn, yeah, and then I was watching. Oh, I'm laughing, but it's not actually funny. I'm just laughing at the ridiculousness of it. I'm watching porn, yeah, and my mama stormed into my room, yeah, and she caught, and I put that lock on my phone, and the porn sounds were still there. So from that moment, I delete the watch history. People just blurting out shameful acts. Look, even if he did almost get caught by his mother watching porn, why did he have to put it out there? What was the effect of him putting it out there? He just normalized it, and he wasn't even being ashamed of it. He was just talking about it like it's happy days. There's this other kid. He goes, "Oh yeah, I was at home wanking, yeah, and my sister stormed into my room, and she asked, what is that?" And I said, "Oh no, it's milk." I said, "Oh no, it's milk." They're saying that there's problems milk. Honestly, the kind of people that exist in this world. Another reason why people normalize it. There was this girl in class, right? A guy asked her, "So why do you actually masturbate? Why do girls finger themselves?" And she goes, "What? It's just part of woman life. But men masturbate and women masturbate as well. Women, this is just a part of life. Women finger themselves because it feels good." People just normalizing talking about it openly. People will even shame and encourage you for not fapping. I'm not joking. There's literally some people out there who will somewhat make fun of you for not watching porn. For some stupid reason, they will make fun of you for not masturbating like them, for not watching porn like them. This is how Shaitan has infiltrated the human brain. This is how Shaitan infiltrates people. He will make it so that other people will shame you. He will make you shame others for being engaged in such disgustingness. Like, I was in college one time. We were in the subway because we were going to Birmingham, right? And these girls that were just openly talking, just openly teasing and mocking this girl, talking about masturbating to sticks of all things. What the hell? And then this girl just lashed it on and says, "Listen, I have never masturbated in my life." And then they just start laughing at her. They just start laughing at her as if it's unnatural to never masturbate in your entire life. They were actually telling her, "Listen, it's just normal to masturbate. It's just normal. It's just part of human nature." And that is how she decided to lash out. Not decided to lash out. That is just how she lashed out, and everyone just laughed at her. And I was actually known for the guy who doesn't masturbate. When people, they actually shouldn't have. It's actually disgusting. When people ask me that whether I masturbate or not, I just tell them no. I don't want. That's disgusting. That's just disgusting. In my school, I was known as the guy who just does not masturbate. And then this one time we were talking about friends, and I talked about masculinity. I don't even remember what I said, but I just brought up masculinity. And he says, Marshall, you're not a real man. I said, why? Because only a real man know how to beat his dick. What the hell? And then, and then, and then there's this. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing out of sheer foolishness of this. I'm laughing at the sheer ridiculousness of the situation. I was just in my class, right? Just doing the classwork, doing the work that the teacher has set out for us. I was just doing classwork. And then one of my classmates gets the brilliant idea to show me something special. You know what this guy does? He whips his phone out. He finds a specific image, yeah? A specific image. I think you know where this is going. He finds a specific image and he says, hey, Moshe, look at this. And it's of this. I don't think I should even say it. I think you can already imagine what this is. I think I might actually even be bending community guidelines on YouTube as a result of this. So I don't think I'll expose it that much. It was an image of a naked woman, but I'm not gonna actually explain it in full detail. And the funny thing is, this very same kid, when my brother moved into secondary school, he did the very same thing to my little brother. Yeah, my brother was walking with his friends and they stopped to have a chat and whatever. And this guy who showed me the image of this woman bent over naked, yeah, you know how it goes, yeah. He finds this image, he finds a different image, and then he goes up to my brother and says, "Haram, haram," and it's just this woman with her ass out. My brother actually narrated this story to me. My brother is how I actually found out about this. Secondly, through the channel of the tongue, as I said before, it just removes shame. Let me even give examples. Literally, in school, yeah, they would literally, I kid you not, I am not joking. Wallahi, I'm not joking. They would literally be watching porn in class. And I got a glimpse. I even got a glimpse of it, and I was just disgusted. And she made it obvious as well. I don't even know how the teacher didn't hear this. I don't know how the teacher didn't catch on to this. This classmate of mine goes, "His balls are so flat. Why are his balls so flat?" While watching the video with her friends. What the hell? I'm not joking. This is just what goes on in school. This is just what happens in my school. There's also this one kid who says, "Type in Morphos." Yeah, type in Morphos. This Asian kid, I swear, I don't even know how this kid got this idea. He was actually a smart kid as well. Well, smart as in academically. He was one of the top people in maths. Yeah, he was the second best at maths. Well, he used to be the top, but then he got replaced by another guy. Another guy actually surpassed him in exam grades. So this guy was the second top mathematician out of our year group. It was to the point that he was even studying with people who were in year groups above him. You would expect that this guy would be smart. You would expect somebody to be this smart. No, but he goes to me, "Type in Morphos." Yeah, you type Morphos. He was Asian as well. That's where the accent come from. So I was like, okay, what the heck is this Morphos he's talking about? So I shouldn't have done this, but I didn't even know what it was. He just said type it in. So I type in Morphos on my laptop, and it's just Chinese porn. You can't make this crap up. You can't make this crap up. I'm not joking. I wish I was joking, but I'm actually being dead serious. This is just what goes on. This is just what happened in my school. Kids in school used to also do this kind of prank. They would also do this weird prank where a guy who was on a laptop would just find porn on there. This is how they would do it. While the guy was away, let's say he went to the bathroom or he went to speak to the teachers, their classmates would go on this person's laptop, right? Would go on this guy's computer screen, because we all had screens. We all had we were in a class where we had classes where it was just computer screens and we had to do work on the computer. Yeah, that's how it was in our school. When a student would go to the teacher to have a chat with the teacher or to ask them for something, or he just went to the toilet, or he was just away from his laptop or from his or her laptop for some reason, they would do this thing. His fellow classmates would do his or her fellow classmates would do this thing where they would type porn on this guy's laptop. They would type porn on Google Images, and then they would switch it to they would deactivate the screen monitor so it's on the lock screen, right? They would make the screen on a lock screen, so that when the student goes on there and unlocks the screen, all he just sees is pornography. I can't make this crap up. This is what went on in my school. I can't make this crap up, even if I tried. I couldn't make this story up. I couldn't actually conjure up such a story. I couldn't actually make this story. I couldn't even make a fictional story out of this. This is just something that happened. I'm telling you, wallahi, this is not fiction. These are the kind of things that went on in my school. These other female classmates of mine, you think girls... Oh, all you guys will think that, oh, women are just meant to be these innocent little things, these innocent little creatures. That's why some of you, yeah. I understand why you might think that, because generally speaking, that is how women are meant to be. But if women are crazy enough, if girls and women are corrupted enough, they have just as less shame as men do. As shameless men do, rather. We were outside of the classroom waiting for our teacher to come to teach us her lesson, right? We were outside, we were waiting for the teachers, and sometimes we would actually have a chat with the students before. You know how you have a chat with people before the teacher actually arrives to teach you a lesson, to open the door, and then you go in and then you start actually begins. We were lined outside of the classroom. And then my fellow classmate, this girl comes up to me and says, "Oh, Marsha, you know, something really dangerous happened. This weird thing happened. I don't know why you think about this, but watch this." And what she showed me, it seemed very normal at first. It seemed something that could lead to a criminal act or something along those lines. It was like this image of chaos outside. It was like the police were everywhere. It was dark outside. It was this alleyway. Police were everywhere. The camera was panning as if it was going to show something suspenseful. And you know what I saw? Do you know what that clip changed into? You know what that clip changed into? It changed of a clip of a man with his member out and spinning it around with this weird, cringeworthy, kiddish kind of music in the background. I'm not kidding. I cannot make this crap up. And then the girls around me were the girls who actually witnessed that they were laughing their asses off, even though it wasn't even a laughing matter. And I didn't even have a reaction. I was just there. In my head, I was just thinking, oh, what the actual hell. Marsha was spinning Willy. That's how one of them reacted, by the way. That's actually what one of them said. I'm not kidding. But my point is, don't be around such people. Don't be around such human beings. They will actually desensitize your brain. If you associate with these people, you will become like them. And they're also being soldiers of Shaitan, if you think about it, because these people, they're encouraging you to watch porn, like I explained. These people, they're actually presenting pornographic and disgusting images to you. These people are not your friends. I'm actually being serious now. These people are not your friends. You should really not be associating yourself with such people. They will literally drag you down to hell with them. They will drag you down to this masturbation addiction and this pornographic addiction even further. They will narrate stories that will just further normalize the situation. They will narrate stories that will just make the situation seem more and more and more normal. I even had more stories that popped up into my head, but I think you get the point. I could go on and on. I even have another story that I'm thinking of, but I think you get the point. So here's the actual thing, right? I would actually recommend that you find people who don't watch porn, who don't masturbate, people who are not like the people who openly talk about pornography and masturbation. They are just open about it, but unfortunately, you might not be in that predicament. You might be in that predicament where you want to be friends with other people who are not like that, but you and them don't really have anything in common. You're not really like them. They might not be Muslims. Even if they are Muslims, they don't really want to improve on themselves. They don't really have ambition in life. They don't really know what they want out of life, and they don't have that confidence. They don't have that self-belief that I can accomplish things. They don't have that want to accomplish more. They don't have that want to be much better. There, some of these people that you want to associate with, that you could associate yourself with, you and them may have nothing alike. Which is actually why the course that I constantly promote. This is something that this course has. It has a community of people who want to be exactly like that. People who actually want to improve on themselves. Not just do they want to quit porn and masturbation, but they also want to improve on themselves. They want to ascend as men. They want to become much better men. They want to be much better than just being average. And they sure as hell want to be better than all these porn watchers, all these shayateen. Do not be among the shayateen. Be among the Muslim warriors. Be among the warriors of Allah. These are actually the people who are in this program. These are the warriors of Allah. Be among the warriors of Allah. That's actually what I'm promoting. I'm promoting for Muslim men to become warriors of Allah. These are the people that I want to be in my community. The people that I want to be in my community. The people that are most definitely going to be in my community are going to become warriors of Allah. They're going to quit porn and masturbation. They're going to use that drive to become better, to quit porn and masturbation. And yeah, that's all I have in this video. Assalamu alaikum. Take care.